Hi everyone, and welcome to another great car here on the Car Reviews podcast with CollectorCarCanada.CA. This is another unit from the esteemed Big Guys collection. If you're not familiar, please do have a look at the little one-pager we did on who we're talking about when we say the big guy. In short, a very successful Ford Lincoln dealer in the Ottawa area, well known because of his promotional efforts as the big guy in Eastern Ontario and Western Quebec. So he left his family when he passed about 18 months back with quite a beautiful collection of cars. The family's evaluated it and decided it's not going to be able to get them all the use they deserve. So this is one of the cars they decided to move along. So this one is a 1966 Ford Thunderbird Town Coupe. So there are a few differences on roof lines on the T-Birds at the time. We'll take a closer look when we walk around the car. This one's going to be lot 246 on CollectorCarCanada.CA, so you see it marked as that. And that's a good start for our little video. I'll run around, grab the camera, and hand hold it for a walk around the car, and we can go from there. So here's a pretty glamour shot of the 1966 Thunderbird Town Coupe in the sun. We're enjoying a beautiful early spring day here in Eastern Ontario where the car is located. The beautiful turquoise color in Ford vernacular is called Tahoe turquoise, and that's presented over an aqua interior. From where we're standing right now, you can see the edge of the passenger seat in the sun. They look to be a perfect match, but the interior color is called aqua. So Tahoe turquoise over aqua. The car was treated to an extensive restoration in the early 90s under previous ownership, at which time her factory paint was stripped and this same Tahoe turquoise color was chosen for the repaint. Paint codes are available, as well as a lot of original documentation with the car. We'll hit a few as well. We look at the interior, a few pieces of it, but please do take a look at our detailed listing for lot 246 to get a complete sense of what comes with it. We see on the headlights, a common period trend is to put a mirror treatment on the headlights. So it's done on the top half of all four front lights. You can see that beautiful egg crate grille to denote a 66. I'm not sure if you can see it or not, but the only hood release in the car is below that front bumper. But chrome looks really good. I don't see any pitting on the chrome on this bumper. Really good, and I don't see any dents either. You can see right here, this is a monitor for the driver to monitor whether or not the turn signals are on. A little chrome treatment here on the hood, underneath which is a 390 cubic inch V8. We've got it running now so we can hear it at idle. Some venting in front of the cowl. Chrome is good on the wiper arms and blades as well. A fixed antenna in place. And here's a good look at one of the wire wheels. So 15-inch wheels all around with the Thunderbird emblem in the center of the wire wheel. And the tires are Hercules Mega Touring LXT. You can see this one's a little low on air. The car hasn't been driven certainly this season. We're right beside the dedicated building where it's stored. It was actually purpose built for the Big Guys collection. And we can see the size of that front right tire at 215/70R15. Same size wheels, or same size tires rather, all around, so a square setup. And I'll also mention that the original hubcaps, which are pictured in our detailed listing, come along with the car should the new owner desire those. But really straight car, really very presentable car here. If I see flaws, I'll point them out, but I'm not seeing many on this car. Maybe a light scratch right here. I'm touching up with my thumb, and there's just a dead bug down here on the rocker. So this car is slightly dusty, you'll notice. It was last washed in January and has sat in this dedicated building, which we're beside, since that time. So it wasn't cleaned in advance of the photo shoot and videos we're shooting today, but it's certainly been cleaned since the last time it was on the road. So here we see how it's closed between what would be a B pillar and C pillar with that T-Bird emblem. So that's why we call this roof style a town coupe. So closed. There's talk about rear seat passengers liking this for the sake of the privacy they got when being driven around in a period T-Bird. So we've got a fender skirt in place over the rear tires, rear wheels. You can see it presents really well. Sometimes when these start to bubble up with rust, these fender skirts are the first to go, but no evidence of that here on the 66 T-Bird. We can only see half the wheel, I suppose, or maybe a little bit more, but the wire wheel and the same Hercules Mega tires in place. Working our way back. Oh, just in case I forget to mention them, I just caught the eye. There are a few dice in place on this car for fun. So both door locks have them, and they also make up the bolts for the rear license plate. Nice Thunderbird emblem here on the rear quarter, and a good look at the venting both to exit the interior of the car and then through here to the exterior of the car. And even the roof, the paint on the roof looks really good. Kind of a low slung car for the period, actually. As I got close to that roof, it felt a little bit lower than many cars I'd see that were of the period. So working our way around to the rear, you can see a dual exhaust, both pipes chugging it out, and they're downward pointing exits with chrome finish. And I'll get a little closer, but with the license plate removed, you can see the two bolts I was talking about with the 6s exposed as the dice on the end of the bolts, and a full width tail light with reverse light in the center, obscured slightly by that T-Bird logo. And we'll take a look at the trunk in a minute. I don't have the key handy right now, but here's how we get into it. That spring is still very strong on the cover for the keyhole. So working our way around to the other quarter. Here's where the fuel door is. Took a look earlier. Nice and clean inside of there. As you can see, if you want to go a little deeper, we did take the cap off the fuel neck, so you could take a look for what it looks like on our detailed lot listing. Again, lot 246. Nice looking fender skirt again here on the driver's rear, and the spoke wheel looks just as good with that Thunderbird center cap, Hercules white wall to match. And here's a good look at the town coupe treatment on the side where the sun isn't showing, so you can get a look at the paint. It's just as good, just looks a little different outside of the sun. And working our way past the driver's seat, I missed the vent windows when we were talking about the other side. A beautiful treatment on these late 60s, early 70s domestic cars. When I say beautiful, what I really mean is functional. The way that glass is angled enables both driver and passenger to get nice airflow on a hot sunny day cruise into the cabin. This car is equipped with air conditioning, but the vent windows are a nice treatment. You can see here the side mirror emblazoned in a T-Bird crest, and there's a good look at the mirror. And typical for a car of the 60s, we can see that there's no passenger side mirror. And the last Hercules tire, again 215/70 R15 for the tires. There's a good look at the Hercules LXT Touring 15-inch, and glass is good. I couldn't find any embossing on the glass, which might be period correct for Ford at the time, but I didn't see any labels on it. And here's another good look at one of my favorite angles to show a car. So that'll wrap up our exterior look. We'll move on to the interior now. Maybe what we'll do before we go to the interior is take a look under the hood. I'll get this hood release here. Not sure if you can see what I'm doing, but that releases it. And then simple pull up, and nice hydraulic system. Well, I won't call it hydraulic, but no prop rod needed for the spring, with the spring loaded system. So there's a good look at the 390 air cleaner, so labeled. And to add to the authenticity of this Ford product. Autolite spark plug sticker on that air cleaner. You can see the car's being modified with chrome valve covers. We know that was done before the most recent appraisal, which you'll find on the detailed listing. Chrome oil filler cap as well. I'll make a note to inquire with the owner if the originals are included. Look for that on our detailed listing for lot 246. Authentic looking period sticker here for the warning for the rad fan. And your typical washer fluid container for Ford at the time in vinyl. And as I said earlier, an air conditioned car, you can see the belts and pulleys going there. And even the underside of that hood looks quite presentable. Even the insulation is intact. I don't see any tears in it. So a very proper looking car. I'll just give you a look at the battery. We're gonna make sure that battery gets replaced before this car goes to its new owner. So again, for the new owner, this car is going to have a new battery. And even this, this authentic label is still in place. And some vehicle data. You can see some engraving on the fenders as well. So yeah, very presentable under hood. 390 cubic inch V8 engine. There's a little more engine detail on the detailed listing. Again, lot 246. So climbing inside, before I do, I'll give you sort of a wide angle view of the car. You can see the courtesy lights on the door there. And again, there's one of the fun friendly dice in place for the driver's lock. Door handle and remote control for the side mirror. There are a set of T-Bird vinyl mats in this car. We pulled them up as we were doing the photos. There are pictures of the card prints underneath on the detailed listing. And even the door hinges, quite presentable. No sign of decay or even dirt. Sweeping 120 mile per hour speedometer. We note under 36,000 on the odometer. That's believed to have turned over once. So we believe this car to have just under 136,000 miles. And you can see the various gauges from left to right. This has also got the tilt-away steering wheel. Let's see if I can operate it with one hand here. There we go. So you can see that steering wheel will just swing out of the way when the car's parked to aid with ingress and egress. And there's a clock that's still running. You can see that second hand turning. And the wiper washer control as well as vents. The car's got a retro looking modern stereo. USA 1 is the model. We've got some information on that on the detailed listing as well. As I say, air conditioning equipped. And here are the 4 power window controls. And we've got the power locks as well. Smart looking Thunderbird emblem here over on the passenger side. A matching vinyl Thunderbird bed. Here's the ashtray, nice and clean lighter too. There's a picture of that on the detailed listing. And this console has some storage. I won't open it right up. There's some personal effects in there, but it does include that paint coat I was talking about earlier. Now, without checking my notes, I can't recall exactly what the name of this wraparound rear seat style is, but we'll have it on the detailed listing. Only 2 belts in the rear, so a 4-passenger car with the armrest for the rear passengers. You can see those smart looking matching aqua seat belts as well in place. And there are some goodies about the car over there. We'll get to those in a moment when we cross over the sides. Courtesy lights for the rear passengers, as I say, with a lot more privacy, being that there's closed up between what would be the B and C pillar. Lap belts in front, again in the aqua finish. Smart looking Ford Motor Company emblem here on the door sill. Let's take a look at the trunk while I'm here, and we'll look at the goodies after this. So a beautifully clean trunk here. And in case you think that vinyl map is obscuring any dirty spots, well, think again, because it's just as beautiful. We do have some photos of the spare tire on the detailed listing. I'm not going to remove that elasticide cover. And again, even the trunk lid looks really presentable with the matching aqua carpet throughout. And it's a lightweight trunk. It doesn't really need to be slammed. I do notice no lines against on that rear window, so I think there's no rear defrost, which would serve to explain the defogging venting above the rear window. It's just as clean on this side. I do note no rear mats in this car, so might be something the new owner wants to get his hands on. But let's take a look at these goodies here. We've got a 66 T-Bird spec and feature manual. And we've got a 66 T-Bird owner's manual. There's something about the sound system. You can see the model USA 1. We've got pictures of the installation instructions on the detailed listing. Not that you need those, but we did do that. That's a battery warranty from an old battery. 1991, this was likely the battery that was put into it at restoration time. And then here's an album that the previous owner kept. Gotta be careful, the first page has some personal information of the previous owner. I don't want to show you that. But here's his summary of what the car is. I love that cruise-o-matic word for the automatic transmission. California cars noted. I haven't seen any specific evidence to that beyond what we see here. But here's an appraisal. But here's some photos about the restoration. We've got photographs of each page of this album in our detailed listing, but I wanted to show it to you here. So this previous owner bought it out of the Cornwall, Ontario area and brought it to his home in the Pembroke, Ontario area. There's some details in here about who did the restoration work in the Pembroke area. Maybe I could change hands. I could show you a little bit better what the contents are. But as I say, there are photos of each page of this album. Here's the original broadcast sheet and an evaluation sheet from the Antique and Classic Car Club of Canada. This would have been at a show in 1991. I know it's the final page, and you can see that this car scored 987 points out of 1,000. Certainly very light wear since, even though that show was back in the 90s. So there's a great look at it. So maybe one more walk around and we'll move to some closing thoughts. You're gonna listen to this solid door closure. They don't manufacture them like that at IKEA anymore. So there's a good look at our 1966 Ford Thunderbird Town Coupe. Again, lot 246 on CollectorCarCanada.CA. It's equipped with a 390 cubic inch V8 engine. You'll see other details about factory power rating and carburation on our detailed listing for lot 246. It's connected to a cruise-o-matic automatic transmission, sending power to the rear wheels only. So that's about it for this car. Thank you for watching, and on to the next car.